Friends, today's NRI Samai program from Los Angeles brought to you commercial free by listeners like you. Your generous donations make possible for us to stay commercial free, and today's show is pre-recorded. If you have a question for the guest, please send an email to nrisamai@gmail.com. We will follow up with the guest and find the answer for you. Thank you for your support. Friends, welcome to NRI Samai, yet another amazing show, yet another amazing guest. So today we are going to talk to Mr. Ravi Shankar, who is the coach of the archery team, and we are also going to talk to a gem, Yara Sharan Reddy. Both of you, welcome to the show, sir.
It's our pleasure, madam.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Hi, Charan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm so great, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
We are good. Thank you so much. You made us so proud. So the first question, obviously to your coach. One quick question I had for any sportsman. How does a coach find a potential candidate, and how do you recognize the talent in that candidate?
Yeah. Basically, we have certain motor ability tests.
Mm-hmm.
So in this motor ability test, we conduct about few tests like standing broad jump, standing vertical jump, and then 800 meters run and 30 meters fly run and medicine ball put and shuttle run. So by taking the records of these things, we come to understanding how is the motor ability test among the children. And this is how we actually select an archer or any other sportsman who can work for Center of Excellency, who can really do something good for the country and state. So once we are through with these tests, that is, we find that some metal is there in the person. And from there, we do conditioning for 2 years. After selecting, we only insist on the physical conditioning. So after physical conditioning for 2 years, that is usually we select from 4th class, the children who are studying in 4th class. 4th and 5th class, these are the 2 years, we only focus on physical conditioning.
Okay.
After that, we select a sport for them by seeing few scientific modalities, who is suitable for which discipline.
Okay.
So that's how we have selected Charan into archery.
Okay. So you're saying so at the standard of 4th or 5th, you're able to recognize the talent, and based on that you give the training and...
Yes.
Okay. So how important is it for a parent to recognize such talent in the child as well, if they want
Basically, parent usually, as they don't come from the sports background, it's a bit difficult. But usually, every child enjoys the game, enjoys to play.
Correct.
So that itself shows how a child can be traced. If every child wants to play. So it is. There should be something like this. The child should be introduced to some sports faculties where the sports persons specialized in sports department will recognize and will guide the parents that this is the child. And usually, most mischievous children are the most talented children because their energies are hyperactive, which is very, very seldom understood, and they are stamped as mischievous. It is not that. Their energies are very, very high. They have to be streamlined. They have to be properly streamed in a proper way so that, energy channelization is done.
That's true. So this is a very, very valid point. I think, every parent listening to this should definitely understand that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because usually what happens as a parent, you always want your child to listen what you are telling. Because everybody wants to become a teacher to the child. But actually child is so potential, we have to be more greater than an architect in dealing the child.
That is true.
We need to have lot of patience and try to guide them in a proper way.
Yeah, that is correct. So, Charan, how old were you when you got into this, and how were you introduced, and how did your interest grow?
Actually, I entered in 14 years age, ma'am, in archery.
Okay.
So, in a 4th class, I started under Dr. P. Ravi Shankar.
Okay.
Actually, for the matter of fact, this is very important for any champion. We need to perfect guide and coach to groom us.
That is true.
So in this way, we are fortunate, ma'am. So to have a coach who trains with passion and treats with compassion when we are distressed.
Yeah.
This act of his regenerates from the core.
Yeah, correct. Very true.
Yeah.
So, how did you get introduced to Mr. Ravi Shankar? I mean, was it your parent who recognized your talent, or how did you come through, and how did you know about Ravi Shankar garu?
Actually, ma'am, I had started in AP Sports School in 4th class, madam.
Okay.
So, in there, Dr. P. Ravi Shankar garu is a SAP coach. So, I had selected for archery. He saw talent in me, ma'am.
Okay.
So, in this way, I started in 4th class.
Okay, very good. So you yourself picked up archery, and that's how you got the interest? Nobody has pushed you into this. It was your own interest in archery?
It's my self-interest, ma'am.
Okay. So you are like the mini Chota Bheem right now, except with a bow and arrow, I guess. You are an idol for
Yeah, ma'am.
Very good. Okay. So, Ravi Shankar garu, can you tell us how you have entered into your coach role? What were your experiences as a sportsman when you were young?
Basically, ma'am, I belong to Hyderabad. So way back in last 25 years back in the 70s, 75, 76, 1975, 76, I was very fortunate to have a very wonderful coach, Behram in Mistry, who was a perfect person and specialized in martial arts.
Okay.
I started with judo and karate.
I see.
I am a black belt in judo and black belt in karate. And then archery also being a martial art fascinated me more. And I used to shoot very good, and whenever I used to shoot arrow into an arrow. Robin Hood shots would be more.
Oh.
Then it so happened, in a place where we didn't had more coaches.
Okay.
So I thought me becoming alone as a champion, if I would have become a coach, I would produce more champions. And moreover, I come from a teaching family.
Okay.
Where my mother is a teacher, my father is a teacher, and my grandfather was a philosopher.
Okay.
So that teaching in capacity was inbuilt in me.
That's true.
And always I used to love to teach, and coach children and guide them in a proper way. Okay. And then, I used to always think that it is just like a sculpturer, when you can really sculpture a champion and you can really feel so happy when they get laurels to the state and country.
That's true.
So that was really fascinating me, and to my credit, I have given about 516 medals.
Amazing.
Yeah, where actually in the state level, I have given about 398 medals. In the national level, I have given about 103 medals, and international, I have given 15 medals.
Oh.
And to the best of my abilities, I produced an Asian champion, Mr. Isaiah Sanam, in 2009.
Okay.
And now Charan is a very upcoming archer who is probable of the Asian Games 2014.
Okay. That's amazing to hear. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you are feeling really proud because you gave so many medals and so many champions.
Yeah.
You have played an important role in recognizing the talent, and that's amazing.
Yeah, actually it is a sport, archery, which made me always enthusiastic to learn more things so that my trainees can get the best. And that's how I am into the yoga therapy also, and acupuncture also. And then I do psychological counseling. I'm a qualified psychologist also.
Okay.
So all these credentials, I'm very grateful to the field of archery and my archers.
Okay.
I always wanted to update myself and give them the best whatever I can.
Okay. That's amazing. You wanted to give your 100% and you have.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I always tell my archers. Their motto should be only be prepared, In the present scenario of life, one has to be prepared for anything.
Correct.
First, person should live life very lively.
That's true.
And then what happens? The sport automatically comes in it. And sport is one of the best method to develop the personality.
Oh, amazing. It feels so nice to talk to you. I mean,
Yeah,
I can see that patience. I mean, you say that you have come from a background where your family everyone is a teacher. So I can hear that patience in your voice. I'm sure you're amazing with your potential candidates as well. So how important is your family's role in terms of support?
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have a wife who is very supporting. In the coaching line, morning before my children get up, I leave the house, and when I come back, my children will sleep.
That's true.
And for this, I'm very grateful to my wife, Dr. Sangeeta Lakshmi, who is a lecturer in physics, who takes care of my family and everything, who never burdens me with work. And she really enjoys my success.
Okay. Yeah, that I think is very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that saying is right. Behind every successful man, there is a woman.
There is a woman.
Yeah,
and
it really
every
makes
successful archer, there's a very awesome coach also. I think we should put that as well.
I always tell the archers, do your best and always praise the God. Never enjoy the ego.
Correct.
Because it is very well said in Telugu, అహంకారం ఉంటే మనతో ఉండేది దెయ్యము, అహంకారం లేకపోతే మనతో ఉండేది దైవము. దైవానికి దెయ్యానికి చాలా దగ్గర ఉంది మాట. అహంకారం ఉంటే అహంకారం లేకపోతే దాని యొక్క ప్రాముఖ్యత.
Correct.
So I think this I could express in Telugu more better than in English.
Yeah, that's true. So how does it I mean, right now, what is the benefits you are getting? What are the resources you are getting from our government in helping you?
Basically, we have some cash incentives like the government gives for the medalists. For the international medalists and for the national medalists and all, they give the cash incentive. And coming to the point of the equipment infrastructure, the government provides the equipment for the best archers.
Okay.
Who was really doing something good, they will support them.
Okay. So I have a quick question here. How do you identify the best archer? I mean, is the government ready to invest money only when the archer has, won some competitions and he or she has a track record?
Yeah. Okay. The government only gives the incentives only when there is a track record and all.
Okay.
But where actually I'm working for Andhra Pradesh Sports School, that is about 250 acres.
Okay.
Where the government of Andhra Pradesh spends a lot of money in infrastructure, in the mess facilities, in the education, in the sports.
Okay.
So basically, it is this kind of a school which gives good result because 250 children are there from all over the Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
And we have about 6 disciplines like, athletics, gymnastics, archery, sepak takraw, and then football, like that. And so that is how we get good this thing. But only thing is there, at the primary level, if it would have been there some sponsors and all who can give some good boost up, that would have been much better.
Okay.
Because mostly, what happens is in the research work, I think we need to develop a lot.
Okay. So when you say research, what exactly are you expressing?
Yeah, basically, in the last Olympics, I have submitted one paper in the London Olympics. I do a lot of research work in yoga and acupuncture, how it can enhance the performance level.
Okay.
And all my subjects are in the sports school where I do a lot of research. And like my specialization in yoga therapy and mudra therapy and acupuncture, because both these fields, yoga and acupuncture, deals with the energy system.
Correct.
Friends, NRI Samay is a non-profit independent alternate media from Los Angeles, USA, which brings positive stories from grassroots activists from all corners of India and across the world. Among others, we focus on stories of need for equality, inspiration, environment, health, and politics. NRI Samay does not rely on corporate funding, and thus our shows are commercial free. We only rely on your donations. Please consider donating to NRI Samay, and all donations are kept transparent on nrisamay.com.
You might be knowing, the present world, everybody are towards the drugs in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very horrible actually, because at what cost? If you can take Carly's today, he's almost down. And he says that he will take all my medals and give back my health. So in what I would say is, no need to take any drugs, but we can improve our performance by using the yogic techniques and acupuncture, and because these are the ancient alternative therapies, which works on the energies.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, so this kind of research work, I am very much interested into it, and I have submitted a paper into the 2008 Olympics also in China, and then the recent Olympics in the London also.
Okay.
So that is I'm just waiting for one day where I want to prove that how these therapies can really make a champion without hurting, without making him feel, with effect of the drugs and all.
Okay. Yeah, I really hope that paper gets published and people get diverted to it. So my next question would be to Charan. So Charan, how are you feeling about your accomplishments in Mongolia? Can you tell us a little bit about how your competition went?
Actually, ma'am, 3 days before the statement selections, my compound bow broken.
Okay.
So place like India, we cannot get immediate bow because I'm a left-hand archer.
Okay.
So everything has to be imported with lot of procedures.
Oh.
In that situation, my coach has arranged the bow and got an opportunity to prove myself in the junior nationals, which was qualification for the Asian Grand Prix held at Mongolia.
I see. Okay.
So where I proved my best and secured 3 medals, 1 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze medal.
Yeah. I've seen your amazing accomplishments. Oh wow. So how did you deal with this? You said the compound bone was broken. Is that correct?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So how important was it? I mean, so are you saying that you got timely help? That's why you were able to perform in the competition?
Yeah, ma'am. Absolutely. With the help of my coach only, I am able to do that.
I see. Okay. So how serious would it have been in case you wouldn't have got that medical help on time?
It's so horrible, ma'am, because without bow we can't shoot.
Correct. So this compound bone, would it help you in holding the bow properly?
Yeah, ma'am. It's very helpful.
I see. Oh, wow.
So it's in the correct situation, my coach was helping me, ma'am.
I see. So you owe this to your coach. So tell me, Charan, how is this? Are you practicing yoga? Do you practice the therapies your coach?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, my coach will learn yoga, acupuncture. So actually, it is a great boon to get a real teacher and guide in life according to the Indian system. Guru.
That is
means the person who removes the ignorance. So Dr. Pelala Ravi Shankar fits exactly to that.
Okay. You are very lucky, and I think the archery team is very lucky to have such a good, encouraging coach. So right now, my next question would be to Mr. Ravi Shankar again.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you see is the action plan for future sportsmen like Charan, sir? What do you think?
Yeah, it's good, ma'am. It's good, very good, because there are many talented archers coming up also. And, actually, archery, as far as archery is concerned, if an archer can put the keen interest, that keen interest to be something, and as soon as that keen interest is there, the very interest itself will teach him many things, and he will start relishing the beauty of shooting. So that makes the person become more involved or engrossed in what they are doing, and I think that can really pick up the archers into the great heights.
I see. Okay. So right now you are saying that there will be lot many Charans who can win us medals in the national levels.
Yes,
That's great. That's great to know. So, can you tell us, were you accompanying him when he went to the competitions at Mongolia?
No, ma'am. I could not, because at that time actually I was little sick.
Okay.
Otherwise I would have gone.
Okay.
But every day in the evening he used to be in touch with the males.
I see. Okay. So you are
and sometimes and used to call on phone, because they are all very much linked with my conversation and my talks.
Correct.
So I always say, when you leave the premises, you have to every day be in touch with me, so that that touch, if it is there, you are into the same shelter again.
That's true.
Because small children, this is a teenage, there is every possibility of getting deviated here and there.
Correct.
So I always tell them to call me up, and then they do that also. And they feel so happy. If they have any problem, they share.
Yeah, that's true. So, Charan, can you tell us what were the situations you faced in Mongolia? How different was it to stay away and not have your coach around, but still perform under that pressure? How was it? What were the challenges you faced in your competition at Mongolia?
Yeah, actually, ma'am, there is a lot of tough competition in Mongolia. So I had think only one thing. My coach said, you just do whatever you do in practice, you same repeat in there.
Okay.
So just I had remembered that word, and I doesn't feel that anybody is my competitor. I am the own self of my competitor.
Okay.
So I used to use this technique very much and maintain that.
Okay. So you just concentrated and you behaved exactly the way you were doing in your practice every day?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's a good sportsmanship quality, I think.
Yeah.
So, but how different or how difficult was it? How long were your competition stay at Mongolia? How long were you staying at Mongolia?
It's about 5 days, ma'am.
Okay. So for about 5 days, every time, did you have the competitions daily, or how were the competitions?
Yeah, competition is 3 days, ma'am.
Okay.
The last 3 days.
Okay. All right. So how was the what different people did you come across? Did you get to talk to other candidates from participating from different places? How was the experience?
Yeah, ma'am. It's a good experience because it's a totally different country. People will meet.
Correct.
So mostly, no, talking is very less. Playing is very more suited.
Okay.
So it will continue like that.
Okay. Good. So were you calling your coach every day to get some inspiration and tell him how it went and everything?
Yeah, it's very useful, ma'am, because my spirits are every day. My spirits were in high level, ma'am, because in that talking, I was very motivated actually.
Okay.
So it has helped a lot.
Okay, that's great. So, Charan, Ravishankar Garu, so right now I think if you take our current game history and everything, the kind of focus, the kind of interest everyone has on cricket, which is not even a national sport, it's very, very high. So what do you think or how do you think we can change the people's mindset or the government's mindset and make them focus on professions like archery or say our hockey? What do you think the government should do?
Yeah. First of all, Ramya, I should really thank you for asking this question. I'm so happy to answer this. Because cricket is such a game, it's a team, two teams playing.
Correct.
And even for the spectators, everyone would like to enjoy that because it's a recreation for them.
Yes.
It's a relaxation and recreation.
Yes.
Because the two teams are playing and some of them belong to one team and some of them belong to another team. How the cricketers are enjoying on the ground, in the same way, even the viewers also enjoy in the same way. But whereas the sport like archery, very few people they'll get bored up actually. So mostly coming to the point of popularity and encouragement, even for the cricket and tennis and badminton, these disciplines are more, maybe because these are more highlighted by the media and all.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
actually, frankly speaking, they all come under one banner, which is called as sports.
That is very true.
Yeah, and then when you say sports, it is one of the greatest national integration, where every country person come to one place and they say they are sportsmen.
Correct.
They don't remember their country also, their caste, creed, nothing.
Correct.
See the beauty of the sports. It's one of the greatest national integration.
Correct.
And I would say sport itself is one of the greatest religion, where it can make you understand your capabilities, your abilities. It is something very, very great. It makes you physically fit. It makes you mentally alert. It makes you emotionally balanced, and it makes you spiritually sound. As Swami Vivekananda has said, you can understand God more better in football than any scriptures.
I see.
So what I would say is these kind of things should be highlighted. Then every sport will get the same importance as cricket. Because ultimately, it is the health which matters, and ultimately it is how wise you have developed. Means if a person can understand the real spirit of the sport, it itself is a big philosophy.
That is true.
And I think these things have to be more highlighted. And I feel that every sportsman should be rated in the same way. Not graded like first is cricketers and second is
Correct.
that's not sportiveness.
Correct.
I guess that.
Yeah. That might be,
means
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
What I feel is actually the people should also understand the importance of the sport. Just winning the medal is only the outcome of your perfection. But in the path of that perfection, you are refined so much, your personality is developed so much, that is not recognized. That is the saddest part of it.
Correct, yeah. I think, if we bring about this change. But right now, I have a quick question in connection to this. See, you're saying that we can recognize the talent at a young age of around 4th or 5th grade, right? But
yes.
Currently, if you see the trend, the physical activity in kids is declining. My parents always keep comparing that. You see, when we were kids, we used to play so much. We were on the streets all the time for about 4 or 5 hours. Nowadays, kids are so pressurized with studies, and at the same time, you have all these corporate schools coming up, which don't have. There are schools which don't have playgrounds. Can you believe that?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
What do you think we should do about this? How do you think?
See, actually, Ramya, there is a reason for this also. If you see from your mother's talk, they would say that, in our days we used to do like this, we used to do like that. That time, the stress levels were not much.
That is correct, yeah.
One person in the family used to work, and a mother used to take care of the child by sharing and, loving them and giving them. See, parental love is not that easy, Nowadays children, they're not getting that parental love.
Yeah.
It is not only the food. It is not only the physical fitness. If emotionally you are not supported, that's not that great enough.
Correct.
So this is actually a reason for that. And at the same time, we want the children to do something great. No, how can it be? Child, they want, all that they want is only the love. That's it.
Correct. Yeah.
And that is lacking. Both mother and father works, and they go home, but it is not a home, but it is mostly a house.
Can you explain us the difference between?
See, home means there is lot of love and affection, there is lot of sharing, and there is lot of caring, and there is lot of, sit and talk at least. These days, who is talking? No one has time.
There is no
Father doesn't have, mother doesn't have.
Yeah.
And the child is just left on his own burden.
Yeah.
I think these are the things which has to be taken into more criteria, because evolution is taking in the development of the world. That is a different story. But with the core world, the core family,
Mm-hmm.
That's a small world, If that small world is more happy, the children will also have a lot of strength. Because I deal with many small children, I always come across, they don't even, especially in our school, when they admit the child, we see the parent only at the time of admission, and we see the parent, don't even see the parent at all for the 2-3 years also.
Oh, wow. 2-3 years.
See how touching it is that, and the child is just here, helplessly.
Correct. Yeah.
And, these are some of the things, that is the reason actually. Food is the same food, right? We are eating the same rice, we are eating the same dal, and same vegetables.
Yeah.
What is actually lacking is that emotional touch isn't there. That emotional support is not there.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think, that is what is important, Ramya. See, I'll tell you something. If somebody comes and talks very lovingly, you start living for them actually.
Okay.
I think this has to be there.
This has to be implemented, I think.
Yes,
but at that same time, right now, even if you don't take schools in consideration, kids are spending more time in front of TV and computers.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think it's all interconnected at one level.
Yeah.
Because of the stress levels, the parents are working and then they don't have time. So, yeah, I guess it's...
No, only one thing is, if the parents take little interest in understanding what actually the child needs, that is enough.
Yeah.
If the child comes to know that, there is someone who is bothered about my needs, that is enough.
Correct.
Frankly speaking, they don't want that, but they want someone to care, that is what is important.
Yeah. So, as a coach, I understand that you share this fatherly figure relationship with all of your students, candidates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, usually, when my students get married and they come to me, I tell them, see, now you have a father-in-law and mother-in-law. You know what is that? By law, he is more father and more mother. That is why it is called father-in-law and mother-in-law, I'll tell. So what I would say is, that emotional support is very, very important.
I see. Yeah. I can see the connection. Can you tell us a little bit about how your relationship is with Charan?
Yeah.
Your bond.
See, basically, my relationship with Charan is I really love my children like anything. My students first. I love them more than my own children because I spend more time with the students than with my children.
That is true.
And I believe that when you can love your children like more than your own children, that itself is enough to give the strength to the student because he knows what has been given. And he will do his best.
Yeah. That's so.
అదే అంటారు కదా ఇష్టమైన పని కష్టం అనిపించదని అండ్ ఇష్టమైన మనిషి ఏం చెప్పినా కష్టం అనిపించదు.
That is true. If you respect and love that person, I think you will not find anything. Yeah. That is very true.
Because my training is mostly on that, Ramya, because I always tell them, love what you do, If you have that interest, you will never feel it is tough. It will become more easier.
Yeah, that passion, I think, that passion has to be there.
I believe this.
Yeah.
I teach with passion and I care with compassion. This is what I do it.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing from Charan.
Yeah.
So, Charan, how proud do you feel of your accomplishment? And as a coach, Mr. Ravi Shankar, I think both of you can answer this question. How proud do you feel about Charan's accomplishment? And Charan, what do you see in the future for yourself in this profession and in this sports?
Actually, ma'am, I am very confident about my life because I am very happy that I am very developed in personality, ma'am.
Correct, yeah.
So, medal is not great thing, I think. I think life is very good. So, I am very confident that I will achieve very good success in upcoming life.
Okay, that is very true. I think, yeah, I can see that confidence in your words, and yeah, I really wish you all the best for your future competitions.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. I will be definitely do very good in ensuing Asian Games.
Yeah, make us all proud, make us Indians proud.
Yeah. Yeah, thank
So, Ravi Shankar Garu, what do you feel about Charan's accomplishments, and what do
Charan's
you see in the future
accomplishment
for
is,
him?
future is very bright, ma'am. Because he is a very focused child, and then he's centered in himself, and he is very clear what he wants. So all these things have been planted in his mind that he is for some purpose. And he all that I have done is I made him understand what are his capabilities.
Okay.
And once he has understood his capabilities, I don't think that he can just ignore that.
Okay.
So he will definitely do it.
Okay.
And we are all there with him. And I really, first of all, I really thank to some of my close friends also, who always been a source of encouragement, like Mr. Shastri. He is my childhood friend.
Okay.
Mr. Shastri is my childhood friend.
Nice.
Every time, whenever the newspaper cuttings come, he is the first guy who will call me and and congratulates me. And with a childhood friend has a very unconditioned love,
Correct. Yeah, you grew
And
up together, so you have that.
I'm so lucky to have a friend like Mr. Shastri, who has always been watching on the TVs and newspapers, and immediately calling and say, yeah, you've done something great.
Amazing.
Cheer up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Ravi Shankar. I
Same
hope
here.
you
Same here, Ramya.
turn lot of candidates into Charan.
Yes, I will. I will.
I hope we see lot more Ravi Shankars in our sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope we see lot of Charans in our sports profession.
Where there is hope, there is a scope. When you hope, the scope is also there.
That's true. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to both of you on behalf of our NRI Summit team for giving your time and talking to us and sharing about your experiences. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ramya.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Friends, if you liked today's show, please go to youtube.com/NRI Samay and click on the subscribe button. You will get notified every time we publish a new show. And you can also like us on our social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.